Hi, Samantha. Hello. Hi, Samantha. Hello.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Samantha Uncut, where I discuss celebrity news, hot topics, reality TV, and so much more. All commentary is alleged and, in my opinion, and for entertainment purposes only. Hey, everyone. I hope you all are having an amazing morning, evening, or afternoon, wherever you are. This is Samantha Uncut, and we are back with another Beyond the Gates review or recap. We are on episode 11, but before we get into that, please remember to always like, comment, and share this video so that it reaches more audience. And if you would like to follow me on my other social media platform, you can follow me on TikTok at Samantha.uncut and on Instagram as Samantha Uncut. All information will be listed in the description bar as usual. So let's get into this recap for episode 11. So the episode starts off with Jacob arriving at the Duprees to arrest Dani, and Vernon jumps in to explain that Officer Jenkins has already taken a statement and found that there is no need for any charges to be laid or for any arrest to happen. Jacob explains to him that Bill has come forward to file charges and has asked the DA's office to make that arrest and to hold Dani accountable for what happened at the wedding due to the viral video, because Bill has shown that to the DA and they have decided that it is enough evidence to arrest Dani. Now, while that arrest is happening, you have Bill with his little sleazy self calling his friend, who is a reporter, letting them know that Dani's getting arrested, and the reporter shows up to the station demanding to see Dani or to see the star of the evening. So he basically called his friend to get the exclusive because he wants to embarrass Dani. So everyone arrived to the police station at this point, and everyone is just furious because they're just like, what the heck is going on? Including Martin and Smitty. And Martin was so furious with Bill that when Bill arrived to the police station, Martin tried to step to him, basically stepping in his face, and was about to hit him. Then he took Smitty and Vernon having to talk to him and calm him down because they're around a bunch of police officers. He's a congressman, and you don't want that kind of press on you when you're a Dupree or you're even a man of that caliber trying to run for office. You don't want any more negative press on you, right? So at this point, everyone is just like looking at Bill and saying to him, like, why would you do something like this? Like, everything was fine. Like, not that everything was fine, but everything was squashed before. So why are you doing this? So even Chelsea is pissed at him because he is using her video to arrest her mom. And so Bill is like trying to tell Chelsea, like, no, you don't have anything to feel bad about, and I don't blame you for the video, but your mother did something wrong, and I'm going to hold her accountable for it. At this point, all Bill care about is getting even with Dani, even if it's at the expense of his own children. Bill is a toxic, controlling piece of work. Like, he is so blind with rage that you can't tell him anything, and he will go at any lengths to get back at Dani. And to me, it feels like he is still in love with Dani, and he is just mad because his actions, while they're affecting Dani, they're not affecting her to the extent that he would like. And it's just this tangled web that he's weaving, but his children are getting caught in the crossfire at the same time. So at this moment, Haley arrives to the police station and she lets everyone know that she's there to help Dani. And she pulls Bill aside and says, we agreed to let it go. And she accuses Bill of holding on to Dani and putting his needs to win above their marriage, which is true because that is what he's doing. And Haley recognizes that even though she's married to Bill, she will always be the other woman. And that is significant because when you look at when you look at the lens that Bill will go to hurt Dani, it shows that he is more interested in his past relationship or his love for Dani. I'm going to say love because even though it's toxic, he still loves Dani, and he's always going to have a connection to Dani because Dani is a significant part of his career, of his growth, of the kind of man that he is. So Haley will always be the other woman in Bill's life, and Dani's always going to be the number one woman. Not only that, Dani's the mother of his children. And that's what happens when you willingly cheat with a married man. It's kind of like Coleslaw cheating with Martell. Melody will always be the number one, and Coleslaw will always be the other woman. It doesn't matter who comes after Melody, there will always be the other woman because Melody and Dani is so significant in the way that these men are bred, right? Even though Beyond the Gates is a scripted series, but I'm talking about the character of a man and the way that they're built and the way that they see themselves when they have a powerful partner beside themselves, standing beside them. Haley doesn't compare to Dani in terms of stature, in terms of wealth, and in terms of ideology. So when you mix those, Bill will always see Haley as the other woman and being less than. So Bill tries to tell Haley that that's not the case. He values her and he values their marriage. So Haley says to him to prove her wrong. She said, you made these charges appear, so make them disappear. So Bill agreed to drop the charges, and Haley apologized to Dani by saying she doesn't regret loving Bill, but she regrets the pain that it has caused Dani and her children. And still in this moment, I want to believe Haley, but I just feel like when you have someone like Haley who comes into a family and befriend someone and then you sneak them by sleeping with their father and stealing someone's husband, I can't help but think that there is an ulterior motive to her apologizing to Dani and wanting peace and all of that because she knows that she is guilty and wrong for what she did. And while she's trying to assimilate into the community, she's going to need the help of Dani to do that. So she's going to have to make every effort to try to be cool with Dani, even if she's apologizing and she may not mean the apology, but it's good for show. It's good to show that she is trying and Dani's the one that's being negative or being difficult in moving forward. But I still don't trust Haley. So now over at the hospital, Nicole is trying to keep Leslie from jumping off the roof. Leslie is dressed in this blonde wig disguise. I don't know who told her to put that on. But anyways, she told Nicole her name is Sherry. Child, she tells Nicole that she lost her husband 6 months ago and that she started losing herself and her mind back then. Being the psychiatrist that Nicole is, she is trying to tell Leslie that, grief can be difficult, but suicide is not the way to go. Of course, Leslie listened because this whole attempt to jump off the roof was a ploy to meet Nicole. So she agrees not to jump, and Nicole offered her free therapy session in her office. And then, while they're walking back to the office, they stop in the hallway and they were talking, and Ted is at the desk at the hallway. And why did Leslie wink at Ted when she's going into Nicole's office and Ted is looking at her? Now he is looking directly at her, and the look on his face let us know that he actually knows her. So I think earlier in the previous episode when Leslie was first introduced, and Ted was coming off the elevator and Leslie was going into the elevator, he didn't really look at her because he was looking at his phone. So now in this scene, he is directly looking at her and he is pissed. You can tell on his face that he is pissed. So in the session with Leslie, back in Nicole's office, she tells Nicole that her husband didn't really pass away. She lost her husband because he left her to marry someone else. But Nicole took it as her saying that she lost her husband, meaning that he passed away, and that's why she wanted to jump off. So Nicole offers to cover her counseling for free, like offer her free counseling moving forward because she understands that she's dealing with grief. But of course, Leslie said no, she's gonna be fine. She'll just rather take a referral, so she wants to talk to someone else. Girl, you asked for Nicole before, but now that she's directly in your face and you have an opportunity to actually talk to her one-on-one every time, you don't want to talk to her now because you got the satisfaction of seeing her the way that you wanted to see her on the roof. Oh, Leslie irks my soul. So before she leaves the hospital to go home now, she stops to talk to Ted because while Leslie and Nicole was in the office talking, Ted was outside the door eavesdropping. So Leslie is leaving now and Ted like pull her because he want to talk to her. Like we are finally due this long talk so we can finally connect the dots of who is this woman to you, Ted? What? Because you are Mr. Loverboy. You are Mr. Perfect Husband. How you know this woman? So, they started talking, and Ted asked her, "What are you doing here? How much do I have to pay you to go away?" Child, Ted paid the lady before. Like, he paid her before to go away. And there goes my theory about Ted having a twin brother who had an affair with Leslie, because now Ted just confirmed that he's the one that had the affair with Leslie. I am so hurt. So Ted says, "We had an affair and that was long gone. That's long over. I paid you." And Leslie let him know that what I want from you, money can never buy. She said, "You owe me respect." And she is considering telling Nicole about the affair. Jesus. Whew. Ted says to her, well, he threatened her. He says, "If you ever come near Nicole again, I will destroy you." And the way he said it, you literally can see that he meant business. He's going to stand on business when it comes to his wife, when it comes to his children, when it comes to him as a man. He's going to destroy her if Leslie ever tries to tell Nicole anything, because he wants to keep his image as this perfect loving husband. But at the same time, he could be that person, but he could also be this sinister person who, when you push him to the limit, you get that side of him. And that is what I'm getting in this moment. So now while over at the bar, Eva and Andre met and they're having a drink. And at first it started out like, it seemed like a flirtatious moment. And I was like, oh God, no, you don't want to flirt with him. That's your family. So Andre invited her to have a seat. They sat down and they're having a drink and they're just talking about their parents and their family. And they're talking about how good the Duprees and the Richardsons are. And ultimately, it was just a friendly conversation. Nothing serious happened. And I pray that nothing serious is going to happen, because yikes, no. So at that moment, Eva received a call from Leslie to let her know that she spoke to Ted and she spoke to Nicole. And Eva is even pissed at Leslie, because she's like, why are you going through these lens to kind of complicate the plan that they had? And she's making unnecessary moves by trying to get to speak to Nicole and trying to speak to Ted, like she's going to blow up the whole plan. And Leslie's letting her know, don't worry about it. She know what she's doing. Girl, you need to take advice from your daughter. You're gonna blow up the plan and somebody is gonna get hurt. And speaking of hurt, this one on the screen, Doug McBride, he got some hurt coming his way because over at the casino, Doug is ready to spend all the money that Joey gave him and cleared his debt. So Randy is over there telling him, dude, what are you doing? You're debt free. Joey cleared your debt. So take the money and go have a clean start. Doug ain't trying to hear all of that. All Doug see is that his debt to Joey is cleared. He got some new money and he gonna spend that money. Doug didn't listen to nothing that Randy had to say. Doug gonna spend the money at the poker. He's still at the poker play at the casino when he should be at the hospital doing some work. And that's what I meant earlier in my reviews when I said, when you have a vice like someone who is addicted to gambling or other vices, you don't hear nothing that nobody else has to say. All you see is the next high, and he's getting a high off of this gambling, and he doesn't see that he's getting himself further in debt, not only with Vanessa, his wife, but he's gonna get further in debt with Joey, who owned the casino, and he's not gonna be able to pay none of this back, and they're going to kick his butt. In this moment, all I can offer Doug is some prayers, because that's all you can do for people like this, because they don't listen. But back over at the Dupree's household now, everyone is upset about what happened at the station, and Smitty is even furious with Martin because he almost like punched Bill at the station. So he's telling Martin that he needs to get his anger under control, and Martin tells him that Vernon already spoke to him. He doesn't need his husband reprimanding him too. And in this moment, Martin show how controlling he is. He's so quick to like shut Smitty down. It's like he sees him as being inferior to him. Even in the way he told Smitty that he's not going to go back to work when Smitty mentioned to him that he wanted to go back to being an investigative journalist, and he wants to just end the conversation. He told Smitty that, oh, you're gonna be the stay-at-home husband with the kids and basically a supporting partner to him. He just shuts it down. And I feel like Martin appears to be this smart, upstanding congressman who is level-headed, but I think that there's a dangerous side to him, and his temper may have gotten him in more trouble before. Hence why Bill is able to use that against the Duprees. And I think that that's the secret that Anita and Vernon was discussing when they said they needed to protect Martin. Plus, he keeps having these nightmares where you can tell that something happened with his temper, and he may have gotten out of control and did something, and Bill was the one that was able to help it go away. So the way that his venom for Bill makes sense in that regard, and the way that Bill is able to use whatever secret he has over the Duprees to get them in line. So Chelsea is still angry, but Dani tells her not to like harbor any resentment towards Bill because of the way he's treating her. So basically she's telling Chelsea not to base Bill's love for them on how he's treating Dani, because she knows that Bill loves his children. And to me, that was very like mature of Dani to say, which makes me believe that Bill and Dani are both toxic individuals, and Dani still loves him. The same way Bill loves Dani, Dani still loves Bill, which is what Dani confirmed later on when she goes on to talking to her mom, Anita. And Dani tells Anita that all Bill having her arrested was his way of inviting her to dance. Dani is toxic, I tell you, she's toxic. After Dani said that, Anita is looking at her daughter with she's absolutely mortified of the words that is coming out of Dani's mouth. So Dani goes on to say that while the arrest was Bill's way of getting her attention back, and despite everything, listen to this, guys. Despite everything, this is what Dani said. Despite everything, she still loved that miserable, wicked man. And if it was an overture, she is ready to take him back in a heartbeat. Dani have no shame. And she is bent on being embarrassed by Bill. Dani is also delusional to think that this approach by Bill is some sort of way of getting her back. When I tell you that Dani is a beautiful, gorgeous woman, but when it comes to Bill, she's an idiot. She's an idiot gal. Like, straight clown when it comes to Bill, because Anita couldn't even believe what was coming out of Dani's mouth, and she looked so serious saying these words that Anita is like, where did I go wrong as a parent? You can tell that's what she's thinking in her head. Where did I go wrong as a parent? And how this girl turned out to be so fool for this man. And that's where the episode ended. Overall, this was a really good episode. I would give it a 9 out of 10. Like, I want to see the build up of what happened between Ted and Leslie. And I also want to see the arrest, how it affects Naomi and Jacob, because they seem like a young, loving couple. So I want to see how that dynamic turns out. And this show is overall a good show, so I'm really happy for it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like and share, and I'll see you guys in my next video.